This is Marie from Underground Crafter, and this is a video tutorial for the Triplet Ripple Baby Blanket. In the sample I use Lion Brand, Heartland, Everglades, and Yellowstone, but for the video tutorial today I'm using Glacier Bay, which is the blue, and Big Bend, which is the brown. So whichever color is your color A, you're going to start with that one. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with a chain of 16 plus 3, any multiple of 16 plus 3. For the sample it was 163, but you can adjust the size to make it longer or shorter if you'd like. I'm just starting with a shorter chain with 35, which again is a multiple of 16 plus 3 stitches. So for row 1, I'm going to turn and I'm going to skip 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and that's not going to count as a stitch, by the way. And then I'm going to double crochet 2 together in the next stitch, and that's a decrease. So I'm going to start with the yarn over the hook. Again, I'm going to skip 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to insert my hook into the 4th stitch. Then I'm going to yarn over and drop a loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops. I'm going to yarn over again and insert my hook into the next stitch or next chain. I'll now have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, draw through 1 loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then yarn over and go through all 3 loops. So we just started with a decrease, which is never a fun way to start, but don't worry, we'll be working on it together. And then you're going to double crochet in the next 5 chains. If you're forgetting the double crochet, you're going to start with the yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, you'll have 3 loops, yarn over and pull through 1 loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So that's a double crochet, that was 1. We're going to do 4 more. 2, 3. So I don't know about you, but I love Ripple Baby Blankets. They're kind of classic, you know, but they're also pretty fun. This one is not your typical ripple because it has 3 ripples in it, 3 sets of increases. So it's going to have a kind of a nice curved texture. So now we've done our double crochet in the next 4, and now we're going to increase. We're going to do 4 double crochets into this 1 chain. So that will be the peak of our ripple, or the increases, and the valleys will be our decreases. So 3, 4. Okay, and so far it doesn't look too exciting, but that's okay, it's going to get better. And then we're going to double crochet in each of the next 5. So kind of repeating that 5 double crochets that we did a moment ago. So now you can see our first little peak, which is pretty exciting. Now we're going to do our first valley. So now we're going to do another decrease, except this time we're going to double crochet 5 together. So it's going to be a bit more challenging than the first one that we did. We're going to start with the yarn over. We're going to insert our hook into the next chain. So we'll have 3 loops. We'll yarn over and pull through 1 loop. Then we'll yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to do that again 4 more times, or 5 times in total. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. That was our second time. Third time we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. That was our third time. Yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. That was our 4th time. And this is our last time. Yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. And now you should have 6 loops on the hook, and we're going to yarn over and draw through all 6. Now, you may have noticed that's a lot of drawing through, so I strongly recommend you don't make your stitches too tight, or it's going to be really hard to pull through all those loops. Alright, so that double crochet 5 together is actually the beginning of our repeat. So here's what we're going to repeat across to the last 3 stitches. We're going to do our double crochet 5 together, then we're going to double crochet in the next 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to work 4 double crochets all into the next stitch. So that'll be our increase, our point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have another one of our peaks. The double crochet 5 together was our valley. And now we're going to double crochet in each of the next 5 again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you get to the end, you should have 3 chains. So let's just, for those of you that are working all the way across the blanket, let's just repeat, let's go through the repeat again. So we started with a double crochet 2 together, a chain, we skipped 3, which didn't count as a stitch, and a double crochet 2 together. Then we double crocheted in each of the next 5, and 4 double crochets in the next double crochet, and then double crochets in each of the next 5. This next part you would repeat as long as your blanket is, which could be pretty long. So you're going to double crochet 5 together, then you're going to double crochet in the next 5 chains, 4 double crochets into the same chain, and then double crochet in the next 5 chains again. So from this part you're going to repeat across, and then at the very end you'll have just 3 chains left, and we're going to do a decrease, a double crochet 3 together. So there's 3 different decreases in this pattern, but they're all pretty similar. So we're going to start with the yarn over, then we're going to insert the hook in the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. Then we're going to do it one more time, yarn over, insert our hook into the next chain, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and we should have 4 loops left, and then yarn over and pull through all 4 loops. And that is our first row. Okay, now we're going to turn and chain 2, or chain 2 and turn. They're really both the same thing. And we're going to skip the first 2 stitches, so that includes the stitch that's the same that the chain 2 is in and the next one. Now we're going to do that same double crochet 2 together decrease we did at the beginning. So again, we're skipping the first 2 stitches and yarning over, inserting our hook into the 3rd stitch. We're going to yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then we'll yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over through 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over through all 3 loops on our hook. And then we're going to skip 2 stitches and work 5 double crochets into the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, then we're going to skip 2, and again we're going to put our next set of 4 stitches in between these 2 stitches. So we're skipping 2, and then before the next stitch we're going to do 4 double crochets in between those stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll skip 2 stitches again and work 5 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're going to start our repeat that we're going to do all the way across to the last 5 stitches. We're going to skip 2 stitches and then we're going to do that double crochet 5 together. So again, start with the yarn over, put our hook into the next stitch after skipping the 2, of course, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. Then we'll do that 4 more times. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over through 2 loops, 3 more times, yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, 2 more times, yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over, drop a loop, yarn over through 2 loops, yarn over, insert our hook into the last stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and we should have 6 loops on our hook, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through all 6. You'll see that this peak is kind of lined up with our peaks from before, just as our valleys are lined up. So now we're going to skip 2 stitches and 1, 2 and work 5 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then we're going to skip 2, and before the next stitch in that little gap we're going to make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then again we're going to skip 2 and we're going to work 5 double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to repeat that whole part across the last 5 stitches. So again, what you're repeating is you're going to be doing you're going to skip 2 and then you're going to do that double crochet 5 together decrease, skip 2, 5 double crochets in the next stitch, skip 2, 4 double crochets in the space between the next 2 stitches, and you'll see it'll separate the stitches a little bit, and that's what the pattern's supposed to do. Then you'll skip 2 and 5 double crochets in the next stitch all the way across till the last 5, and then what you're going to do is you're going to skip 2 and we're going to do that double crochet 3 together. But here's the difference. We're going to change colors in this pattern every 2 rows. So get your color B ready, because at the end of this row we're going to make our first color change. So we're going to do our double crochet 3 together. We're going to skip 2 and then yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then one more time, yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and now we're going to bring over our color B. Be sure to leave some slack because you don't want to have too short of a tail. And then we're going to just put our color B on our hook and just draw it through those 4 loops, and that will be our color change, nice and easy. And then we're going to chain 2 again, and that's going to not count as a stitch again. Now we turned, or chain 2 and turn and chain 2, it's really your own preference. This row is going to be the same pattern now for the rest of the pattern. We're going to just repeat this one row, but we're going to change colors every 2 rows if you want to have stripes, or you can just go with solids. So after chaining 2, we're going to skip just the first stitch, and then we're going to double crochet 2 together. So we're going to insert, yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over and drop a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops until we have 3 loops left, and then we'll yarn over through all 3. That's our double crochet 2 together. And then we're going to skip 2 stitches and work 5 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now if you're looking for positioning, because I know a lot of people like to quote-unquote read their stitches, the first set of 5 double crochets should be in the last group of 5 double crochets. So at you see this lines up to the first of those 5. That's where all these 5 go. Then you're going to skip 2 and 4 double crochet in between the next 2, and you'll also see that that's lined up with when you did that in the prior row. So you're going to insert your hook between the next 2 stitches and work 4 double crochets there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then we're going to skip 2 again and 5 double crochet in the next stitch, and the next stitch is going to be the beginning of these 5 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're going to do our skip 2 and then our double crochet 5 together. And just to give you a sense of how those should line up, the third repeat, so it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, should line up over the decrease from the prior row. So again, we're going to skip 2, we're going to yarn over, we're going to insert our hook into the loop, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. That's 1 time, we got 4 more to go. Yarn over, insert our hook in the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, 3 more to go. Yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, 2 more to go. Yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and 1 more to go. Yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and we should have 6 loops on our hook. Now we're going to yarn over and draw through all 6, and then we're going to skip 2 and 5 double crochet into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to skip 2 and make our 4 double crochets right in between those 2 stitches. So we're just going to put our hook in between and do 4 double crochets there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to skip 2 again and 5 double crochets into the next stitch. Okay, and the way that this pattern repeat worked again was we started over here, we skipped 2, we did our double crochet 5 together, we skipped 2, we did 5 double crochets in the next stitch, we skipped 2, we did 4 double crochets between the next stitch, and then we skipped 2 and we did 5 double crochets in the next stitch, and that's going to be repeated all the way across to the last 5 stitches. And again, you're going to skip 2 and then do that double crochet 3 together, which again is yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, that's the second time, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, and then for the third time we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the next stitch, yarn over and draw up a loop, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. If you're changing colors, here's where you'd put on the new color, but if you're using the same color, you're just going to yarn over and draw through all 5 loops. So for this particular pattern, in the sample, I change colors every 2 rows. So what that'll mean is when you come back on this row, your same color that you want to use will conveniently be there, so you can just change the color without pulling it too tight, because you don't want to have the rows pucker, so you don't want to do something like this. You want to very gently pull it up like that so that it has enough space. If you want to use 3 colors, you can change colors every row, because at the end of every row there'll be another color to pick up. And but for 2 colors, it's easier if you change 2 rows, because then you can carry the yarn up the side without having to cut it off. Now I just want to show you how I finish this pattern. So at the very end, when you've done all the rows that you want, with your final color, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and you're going to turn to work across the straight edge. So you're not going to turn like we've been turning to work across the rippled edge. And what you're going to do is you're going to put 2 single crochets in the side of each row. So what I mean by that is you're going to actually insert your hook around this stitch and do 2 single crochets. And actually, oops, let me take that out and do that slower for those of you who don't remember the single crochet. So we're going to insert our hook around this stitch or around the chain 3 space or the chain 2 space. We're going to yarn over and pull through 1 loop. We should have 2 loops on the hook, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 loops, and that's a single crochet. So we're going to work 2 of those in the side of every row. And the purpose of this is just to cover up our yarn tails and make the edges a little bit more even. And once we get to the end, meaning the very beginning, we're going to chain 1 and then turn so that we're on our foundation row here, and we're just going to join with a slip stitch into the very first stitch on this row. Now I'm doing this right now for the sample video in 2 colors, but you can see right away that that will be very visible. So in my sample I ended with the same 2 colors I started with, and that way when you join it, it looks seamless. And then you'll do the same thing basically on the other side. You'll join the yarn here and you'll work 2 single crochets across the side of every row. And that's going to cover up these little yarn tails so you don't have to worry about them. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel and you'll be able to get my next video as soon as it comes out.